right, welcome to First and Filoni. This is the last week of the regular season. We do have conference championships and then bowl season coming up, and we'll still be doing shows during those times. But with me, as always, is the man himself, Mr. Andrew Cooper. How was your weekend, man?
No, it was good. First day of shotgun season, so hectic as always. Got to kill a few deer, got to run some dogs, so that's always a good time.
Yep, there you go. And it seems with that as well, it's kind of a little bit of an upset weekend. The top four all had pretty close games. The Michigan Illinois game was with 1 point. TCU only beat Baylor by 1 point. Ohio State won by 10, but they didn't. It was within six, I think, for most of the game. Um, and then Tennessee got blown out. So
Unfortunately.
so it looks like Tennessee's pretty much done with their hopes of getting into the college football playoffs. I think there's still a slight chance that they can do it, but a lot has to happen. But without Hendon Hooker, who is out for the season with a torn ACL, prayers to him. Hopefully he can recover and still have draft stock. Do you think Tennessee's going to be just as good with Joe Milton at quarterback?
I think they're going to compete, but I don't think it's going to be as electric as,
Yeah,
with Hendon Hooker in the lineup.
I'm with you as well. Milton was a starter last year before Hooker started, so he knows the offense pretty well, and they're still pretty good. Pretty good there. But I was very shocked to see South Carolina Beamer ball in full effect, it seems, and Spencer Rattler looked like the Spencer Rattler that was coming out of high school. Um,
Yeah, they won a beamer out of South Carolina last week.
yeah, yep. So, it was kind of a crazy day for that, and kind of crazy day for most sports as well. Updated records. I'm 83 and 37. You're 78 and 42. And then locks are 31 and 31. Some
What I
other
do
news.
last week?
Um, if I remember, 1 second, let me pull it up. Well, some other news while I'm pulling up the records as well. UVA has officially canceled their season. Um, it's kind of expected, after everything that's happened. They won't be playing Virginia Tech this weekend. They didn't play Coastal last weekend. Hopefully they can get their program back and have some cheer for the fans and for the football team in general this off season. You were 7-3 last week,
Okay.
and I was 6-4. So close games. You're catching up to me slowly but surely. We still have that race for 100. We're going to shoot for at least one person getting 100 wins this year. We do have this week, next week, and then bowl season. So, um, but another thing in the news here, it's been reported twice unofficially that Lane Kiffin is expected to resign on Friday. So this podcast will come out on Thursday. So he's expected to resign from Ole Miss on Friday. Um, and then sign with Auburn, even though Auburn hasn't put an official contract offer up there yet. But it's looking like Kiffin is going to be going to Auburn. I'd be very shocked if it would be somebody else. So um, hopefully he keeps Cadillac Williams on that staff. What do you think about Kiffin at Auburn? You think it'll be any good?
Oh, man, he's bounced around so much. I wish he just pick a place and stay to be. Um,
Well, he
Man,
brought
he's
Ole
going to
Miss
definitely
to
go hold more money.
prominence. Huh?
I think it's going to be all right. I mean, I think the first year is going to go rough on. He's
Yeah.
got to get his recruits in there. And
Well, I think
recruits and his staff. You got to remember.
that's why he's leaving this early, because the transfer portal starts December 5th. So he wants to get out and ready and started, you know what I mean?
I think he'll be all right. Who do you
So
think's going to take the Ole Miss job?
I don't
Prime.
know. I don't know. I don't it'll be a decent name. Ole Miss football isn't really like big. So it'll be somebody who's up and coming would be my guess. I could see some young person. They might offer it to the guy from Kansas. Um but I could see somebody pretty young flying up the ranks. Um,
You think
so
Dan Mullen takes it?
so I've heard that. I heard Dan Mullen wants to get back into the SEC, and there'll be a couple jobs opening. So that'd be interesting to see if he does it. I think he likes his cushy TV job, making that TV money. So
Uh, he for daggone sure.
so the rankings just came out. Um, looks like we have a new top six here as well. Georgia at 1, Ohio State 2, Michigan 3, TCU 4. At 5 we have LSU, and 6 we have USC. Any surprises there?
No.
I'm kind of surprised to see LSU that high up, but I mean they have been winning convincingly, so I guess not. Um, USC is quietly having a good season, but they haven't blown anybody out. Their defense isn't good, but their offense seems to be clicking on all cylinders right now. Um, but we have that big game this weekend, the Michigan at Ohio State, so we'll save that for the end. This is rivalry week officially, so we have a couple big name games coming up here. Of course, I didn't go easy on our game pick schedule here, so apologize once again
Yeah,
for
they're
the
definitely not easy.
for the roughness here. But all right, well, let's go ahead and just get into it here. We have the games. We have 11 games this week. We added one last minute just because I think it'll be a fun game to watch. I'm sure you think it'll be a fun game to watch as well.
Oh
So
yeah.
um we'll go into that. And then next week we'll look into giving our season ending awards, a look into the college football playoffs, and then conference championship game picks as well. We'll go ahead and start with the game that it will be on. I believe it is on Thursday night or Friday night. So when this comes out, the Egg Bowl, we got Mississippi State at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 2 points right now.
I was kind of hoping you were going to take the lead on this one.
So with the I want to preface this with if Lane Kiffin leaves, Mississippi State by 1,000. I still think Mississippi State's going to do it. I don't think they have the firepower at Ole Miss to compete in a shootout. I do like that Judkins running back, but he's going to go to Auburn with Kiffin. Jackson Dart, I don't think is a very good quarterback at all. So if Will Rogers is on, Mike Leach and the boys are going to go into town and blow them out. I'm going to go with Mississippi State. Anyways, I've liked them all year. I like Will Rogers. I like that offense. I like Mike Leach. So I'm going
So is
Miss State.
to clarify this is if Lane Kiffin leaves Friday, I mean resigns, he's resigning Friday, he won't be coaching.
Correct. That's to my knowledge. If he resigns, he won't be coaching. He'll be interim coach. So that could give the team a little bit of a boost too.
Nah, give me Mississippi State.
Yeah. Well, it's not been official. I don't want you to pick it off of that, but every person that I've read, every insider in college football is saying that he's gone. So,
Yeah.
and I've been
Well, if he
saying it all
leaves,
year. I mean, I've been
if
saying
he
he's going all year, right? Like it's
yeah,
kind of
well,
been the
if he
cards.
leaves, man, those kids are gonna be pissed. They're not even.
Well, if he leaves, all the good players are going to go to Auburn with him in transfer portal.
Oh
Judkins
yeah,
will be there. That'll be you imagine Bigsby and Judkins at running backs. Those two
I
running
thought
backs back
Bigsby
to
was a
back.
senior this year.
Is he?
I think I'm not sure.
But that would be fun to watch. See two
Oh
powerful
yeah,
backs run back to
that's
back
a
with each
two-headed.
other.
That's a two-headed monster. There.
That's that old McFadden and Hillis days, right? At Arkansas.
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and let's stick in the SEC here. We have Florida at FSU. Florida's coming off of a rough loss at Vanderbilt. Congrats to Vanderbilt winning 2 SEC games this year. Mike Wright is a better quarterback than people think. FSU is favored by 9.5 points. They blew out Louisiana last week. This one is a
I'm
tough one for
taking the
me.
Knowles all day.
You think so?
Not for me. Nasty Knowles all day. Yep.
So I want to pick Florida because I love Anthony Richardson. I love the defensive lineman number 21, who is a 400-pound guy. but I think you're right. I think it's FSU's year this year, unfortunately. Um, you never know which Florida team you're going to get. You have a top 10 Florida team and then you have a bottom 10 Florida team. You never know which team's going to show up. So I'm going FSU as well. But at 9.5, that's too big of a spread for this big of a rivalry, I think. So um we'll go ahead and stay in the SEC. We'll just knock out the rest of the SEC games here. We have Auburn at Alabama. Alabama's favored by 22 points, but since taking over the interim job, Cadillac Williams has kept it close. He's 2-1, I believe. And they just rolled last week over Western Kentucky 41-17. Bama's not been doing well this week, or this year. They don't have the power. It's taken everything for me, Mr. Cooper here, taking everything for me not to pick Auburn. But I'm picking Alabama.
Yeah, unfortunately, man, I got to pick Bama. I love Cadillac Williams, but I think he has 4 flat tires this week.
Yeah, I hope he keeps it close. You best believe I'm gonna be cheering on Auburn. But I I just give him a couple years and we'll see. But okay. We'll go a little SEC ACC action here for the next two games. We got South Carolina at Clemson. Clemson is minus or is favored by 14.5 points. And South Carolina coming after a big win last week. This one I think is going to be a lot
Trap
closer than
game.
14.
Trap. It's going to be a field goal, and
This one was the toughest one for me, to be honest with you.
oh yeah. Is it at Clemson?
At Clemson. I'm
Yeah,
not sure what time it is. Let's see if I can find it.
I think it's senior night too.
Well, yeah, it would be senior night. It would be the last game. Um, let's see.
Give me Clemson by 3. BT Potter field goal.
You got Clemson. Does look like it is a night game too. I can't find it.
Yeah, give me Clemson.
Oh wait, no, 11. It's a noon kickoff. So it's a day game.
Give me
Clemson
Clemson.
struggles at day games, man.
I'm gonna take
Um,
Clemson.
yeah, I'm going Clemson as well. But I'm with you. I think it's within 3 to 7 points. I don't. It depends on who's playing quarterback for Clemson, and if South Carolina's defense can play like they did last week, I would pick South
And it
Carolina in a
depends
heartbeat.
on what Spencer Rattler you get.
Right. So, okay, and then another ACC SEC matchup: Louisville at Kentucky. Kentucky is favored by 3 points. They put it to Georgia last week. But I don't like Will Levis, and I will continue to say I don't like Will Levis. I like Malik Cunningham over Will Levis, and I'm going Louisville here.
Cunningham didn't even play last week.
Oh, he didn't? Was he hurt?
No, no, I think so.
Well, still going Louisville.
Well, yeah. Was it at Louisville?
At Kentucky.
Give me Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean they played really well against Georgia last week, but I'm wondering if that just kind of took the sails out of them, took the wind out of their sails. Okay. Let's go ahead before we get into let's go ACC SEC or Pac-12. Notre Dame at USC. USC is favored by 5.5. Notre Dame has been
Notre
looking
Dame.
great as of late. You think they're going to do another upset?
Yep, absolutely. I got Notre Dame.
I think they are as well. I really do. That defense is flying to the ball right now, like flying to the ball. They
Freeman's got the
blew
boys
out.
rolling.
They blew out Boston College last week in a
Man,
snow game.
I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to get in a snowball fight with those kids neither, because I can tell you they were chucking it.
Yeah. They looked pretty good last week. I'm glad they're Marcus Freeman's turning them around. Um, it's looking up for good old Notre Dame there. So I do as well. I like Caleb Williams and Addison, but I don't think their defense is good, and they can't finish in the or they finish in the clutch, but I don't think that they're gonna blow them out. So I'm with you there. Uh this one here, this is a great basketball rivalry from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. We have NC State at UNC.
Shit.
UNC minus 6.5 here. NC State, they have looked okay the last couple weeks, but they're still playing the freshman quarterback.
Nah, he was out last week. He was
Was
injured
he?
against Louisville. They had
Is
Ben
he?
Finley come off the freaking scout team.
Ooh, is he?
Yeah.
Do you know if he's playing this week or not?
I don't know. I think this is going to be one of those like mystery gushers packet. You don't know what you're getting.
Yeah, that could help them if
MJ
they don't have any
MJ
film.
MJ might be there. He might not be. I don't know the extent of his injury. We had 4 or 5 starters out last week, and it really showed. But yeah, the boys did fight hard last week against Louisville.
Yeah.
But you already know who I'm picking. Go to hell, Carolina, packed by 90, baby.
Oh, you're still going NC State. Yeah, you can't
Yep.
pick. You can't pick against the Blues, and I offered to take this game off the schedule there for you. So like let's not throw shade at Donovan here, guys. But I'm going UNC. I think May should be winning the Heisman, but he's not going to just because of where he plays.
No, we're probably going to
Unfortunately.
get torched.
I don't know, man. Defense travels, and UNC, they don't have a good defense, but they have a great offense. So might be a fun game to watch. Let's go over to the Pac-12. We got the Civil War, Oregon at Oregon State. Oregon is favored by 3 points, with a rough loss last week to Utah.
No, they beat Utah.
Did they? They're 9 and
Yeah.
2. Oh, they were. I'm sorry, rough win. Then
Yeah, I would say they beat Utah.
I must have. It's been a long weekend. I drove to Tennessee, went to Nashville. Like I'm running on very low sleep right now.
Give me, is it at Beaver Stadium?
Yep. Oregon State's played really
Son of
well
a
all
gun.
year. Oregon's favored
Give me
by
Bo
3. Bo
Nix and the
Nix.
Ducks.
You'd think they have a good shot. They win out. They might. They
Dude,
have an
this is
outside shot to get into the playoff.
dude, this is rivalry week, man. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Teams are 2 and let's say 2-9, or can pull up an upset against any team.
Oh yeah. Um. Oh man, this one's tough. Um. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm going Oregon. Bo Nix has looked too good this week, or this year, outside of the Georgia game. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Oregon State wins. I mean, I'll put it at that. Because they're a bunch of no name players, but they keep the games close every single game that they've played. So, okay, so we have 2 big ones left. Michigan State at Penn State. Penn State's favored by 18 points.
Oh, this is a tough one.
At Penn State. Yep.
Psych! Give me Penn State.
Yeah, I hope they play the backup quarterback. I like him. The freshman they have, dude's 6'4" or 6'5" and has a rocket cannon arm. So they'll have after Clifford leaves, they'll have a um decent quarterback at least. So we'll see. Hopefully Franklin can bring him back. And then Coastal at JMU. I think JMU is favored by 13.5. Let me double check that. Do you have anything to say about this? This is the game that we added that we think is going to be one of the more fun games this weekend. Yep. JMU is
This is
favored by
going to
13 and a
be a
half.
very high scoring affair. It's going to be a good one. But I'm going with the in-state boys. Give me the Dukies.
Yeah, so it's a 9-1 Coastal team versus a 7-3 JMU team. I love Coastal's quarterback. I love I love Grayson McCall. They have a great receiver with Pickney. But I love what JMU's doing, man. They're coming to the FBS and they're showing out. So I'm with you as well. I think JMU wins it. I think they finish the season strong because they can't play in a bowl game. So this is their official last game. Unfortunately, I would have loved to see them play like a Florida in a bowl game. That would have been fun to watch, I think. But yeah, I'm with you, JMU. I think it's gonna be high scoring as well. That's actually gonna be one of my overs for my locks of the week this week. And then finally, the biggest game since the Alabama Tennessee game, I think, Michigan at Ohio State. We have Ohio State favored by 7.5 points. It is a noon kickoff, I believe. So it is 12 o'clock slate, so early game. Let me double check that. Yep, 12 o'clock kickoff, early state at Ohio State. It's Michigan week, so it's supposed to be 48 degrees and cloudy in Columbus, Ohio. So not a snow game like last year. Who you got, my friend?
Hmm. Is Corn back?
Um, I'm not sure. Him and Donovan Edwards were both out. I haven't seen any injury reports. The problem with us recording on Tuesdays, for the folks back home, some inside baseball here, we don't get to see the injury reports that come out on Wednesdays and Thursdays. I know him and Donovan Edwards were both out last week. Their backup did okay, but um, Illinois they took advantage of it for sure. Yeah, I haven't seen anything. I don't know. I would assume no. It's looking like no,
All
but I
right,
haven't seen it.
man. You got Marvin Harrison Jr. on the outside.
He's listed as questionable right now. As of 3 days ago,
Corn.
he's questionable. Yeah.
No way he's not playing on the rivalry. Give me Harbaugh and the boys.
Ooh, going big blue, huh?
Yep, Harbaugh and the boys. I hate Ohio State.
I do not like Ohio State either, but
I'm sorry, I shouldn't say hate in today's world. People get offended very upsettingly. I
yeah,
dislike Ohio State, but I really hate North Carolina.
so I'm the same way.
Really,
I
in all
really,
caps.
really do not like Michigan. Because of the Notre Dame rivalry. So I'm going to go with the boy himself, the legend, Super Bowl champion, national trophy champion, Ryder Cup champion, AJ Hawk with the OH. Oh,
No, I'm
yo,
not feeling the rest of that.
we're going to Ohio State here. I like Michigan's defense. I think their offensive line's better. I think their defensive line's better, but I think Ohio State's weapons are better. So I have them as well. So we differed on 3 games this week. Should be a good one here. Um, just to go over some locks of the week, I have UNC beating NC State by more than 6.5 points. I have Mississippi State and Ole Miss over 59 points. I think that's going to be a shootout. I have Florida and Florida State over 58 points. I think that one's going to be a shootout as well. Um, I have South Carolina covering Clemson by 14.5 points. I have Coastal and JMU over 54. Like we both said, it's going to be a shootout for that. And then I have Auburn plus 22 over Bama because I have faith in Cadillac Williams to keep it close. So, well, that's the show for this week, guys. We kept it a little short, being
you
Thanksgiving.
you betting this week or what?
Yeah, I did okay last week. A couple of my parlays missed it by one thing, so like I was upset about that. This week I'm not going to do parlays as much. I'm going to do individuals and see how it goes. So, um just little tiny, $1, $2, $5 bets, nothing crazy. But thank you guys for listening for the holiday episode here. We will be back next week to talk about conference championships. We will go over majority of the big name conference championships, all of the Power Fives. We'll go over the American. We'll go over maybe the Sun Belt, depending. if Coastal's in it. We'll kind of see where it is and see what we have, and then give a little preview of bowl games, what bowl game predictions. If I hear any rumors, we'll talk about that. And have a little bit longer of a show next week. So thanks again for watching and listening. Be a friend, tell a friend, all that good stuff, and we will see you next week.